right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Wednesday, October 20th. Getting ready for a couple of events tonight, and then we got a full week next week of events. We just added a plum jack dinner on the calendar. That's when it went out yesterday's email today. We got that Solita dinner on Tuesday next week. But what did I drink yesterday? God. Let's see, it was a lot of drinking in the store yesterday. You know, it's hard to believe when I look down on the paper how many wines I've got on here. It's 15 wines at Cafe Max last night, and I got notes on all of them. A man obsessed with wine I am. All right, well, let's see. What do we have in the store yesterday? First up, Ron Mata stopped in with Fast Eddie. I'm sorry, not Fast Eddie. Fat Eddie. No, Big Eddie. All right. Anyways, these guys come in every year to show me the new releases on row 11. And this is one of my favorite properties, Pinot Noir producing properties. The Santa Maria Valley Pinot has been on our top pick list the last 3 years. You guys just saw the email go out last week. You know that. And we featured the 2007 vintage Pinot. The 06 is going to come back. And I actually like the way the 06 is drinking a little better right now. It's got a little more time in the bottle. So if you like that wine, we will have it back in the store. First up, we have the 2007 Russian River Pinot. And these Pinots are very different, and I love to see a portfolio of wines like this where they have 3 different Pinots and they're all fairly different. The Russian River, typical Russian River, a lot of ripe cherry pie-like fruit on the nose, notes of sweet tobacco spice and a little bit of cola in there also. Really nice and soft on the palate. Light cherry fruit showing through there with silky smooth tannins and just a hint of spice there and freshness. Definitely a little lighter than the Santa Maria, which is why I like the Santa Maria better. And this 06 packing quite a bit of punch, a lot of nice tobacco spice, a nice smoky character to the nose, a little bit of that bacon fat that you get, a little cinnamon and a hint of game. But like I said, just bigger on the palate. And then the 06, another year in the bottle, maybe a little more smoother with the tannins, but a big Pinot Noir that still tastes like Pinot Noir. All right. Then we got a few Zinfandels. Do I need to mention anything about that? I'm not a big Zinfandel fan. And the Renwood Jackrabbit was okay, but I can live without that, either one of them. Stratton Lummis Cabernet, a wine, if you like Cabernet from Napa, one of the best values in 2005 vintage that we still have left in the market. This wine, $23.25. 80% of the fruit comes from Oakville, 20% from the Rutherford appellation. A little bit of the Petit Verdot thrown in there for good measure. Lovely cigar box spice to this, a little black pepper, and some lovely earthy qualities to it. Black cherry and currant cassis-berry fruit on the palate, and a nice amount of that cigar box tobacco-like spice showing on the finish with rich black earth. Really nice little Cabernet Sauvignon. And then we had a white wine blend of, I don't know, Pinot Grigio and Chardonnay or something that shouldn't be put together. Chiavello, I don't know who came up with this marketing disaster for these folks, but not my thing. And then an orange muscat, which was kind of nice. The only problem with these muscats from California is, man, I can give you a full bottle of Moscato d'Asti for the same price from a great producer like La Spinetta or Brida. So nice, but the real surprise here was the ice wine Zinfandel from Renwood. Wow, now they finally found something they can do with Zinfandel that I'm going to enjoy. Turn it into an ice wine. Man, this was one of the most unique dessert wines that I've had all year. Had this lovely kind of plum and candied orange fruit to it. Really succulent fruit, cloyingly sweet on the tongue, but then wonderful freshness, finishing dry at the end. Really nicely balanced wine, and we will have this wine in the store for the holidays, and we're going to be showing it for the Symphony of the Americas event coming up on November 5th. All right, next up we had Jeff from Transatlantic, and he had a mixed bag of wines with a few showstoppers, folks, like this Leeuwin Estate Chardonnay Artist Series 06. Are you kidding me? I left it sitting in the glass overnight. This is 24 hours, and the wine's just exploded. It's incredible how much it has evolved, being sitting in my glass here in the store the last 24 hours. One of the great vineyard sites in the world. When Robert Mondavi saw it in the 70s, he wanted to buy it. And Donald Hogan tells this story, as he did when we did dinner with him years ago at Cafe Max. What a great producer, one of the great Chardonnays made anywhere in the world. I'll put it up against Grand Cru White Burgundy. All right, well, the Santa Barbara Wine Company Chardonnay kind of paled in comparison next to that, but it was all right for $9. And then, wow, what a surprise, Nieto Senetiner Pinot Noir from Mendoza. One of the best values I've had in Pinot Noir all year for $13.50. What's going on in South America, man? The Veramonte from Chile, the Silensis from Chile, a slew of inexpensive Pinot Noirs that are really good. Wow. Light cherry, a little smoke in there, some brown spices, light on the palate, very fresh and very balanced, though, and again, tastes like Pinot Noir. Wow, what a revelation. Okay, next up, the 07 Zenato Ripasa, one of my favorite wines from the Veneto. Really nice little wine with a lot of complexity and a lot of concentration at that price. And Ripasso means they pass the juice over the already used grape skins, so it gives a little extra oomph to the wine. And this wine's definitely got a little oomph to it. And both these wines are open for 2 days, still showing beautifully as the way a good wine, a well-made wine should. The 06 Darn Big Dead from McLaren Vale, one of the classic Shirazes, the 06 vintage. Killer. I mean, most excellent. Really nice bottle of Shiraz. Year in and year out, one of the best Shiraz coming from this part of Australia. And this wine's lowered in price a little bit. We're down to $50, back where it was a few years ago, like the 98 vintage. Really nice bottle of wine at that price range. One of the better Shiraz that you'll find. Has a little bit of that minty note, that blackberry jam, black pepper, cocoa spice, smooth and velvety on the palate. Very firm tannins. This wine's got some legs to it. This is one of the better more ageable Shiraz coming from the McLaren Vale. All right, well, there's some wineries that bring me back and to a nice place. Marqués de Cáceres is one of them. This is a winery I visited on my first trip to Spain, and it was a beautiful winery at that time, state-of-the-art, 1994, and they took us to this restaurant. I remember it's the first time I've ever had suckling pig. I mean, where the pig was so small it fit on my plate, and it was really fabulous. The wines are classic wines, and nothing earth-shattering in terms of quality. These are not wines that you're going to see, huge 95 to 100-point reviews on. That's just not the style of the wine. The rosé, a really nice, fresh in style of rosé. The Satinella, a little bit sweet, a nice wine if you like white Zinfandel. The Cáceres white, clean and fresh. And the Crianza, politically correct Crianza. The Reserva, a really nice little Reserva for $18. The Grand Reserva, $39.50 for the 01, which is a great vintage in Rioja, and something you should check out if you like classic style Rioja. And then the MC, a new style wine. I wasn't as crazy about that as I was about the Grand Reserva. And then a wine called Gaudium, which was actually very nice, maybe a little hefty in its price tag. Hey, they've got some vertical packs of 81, 85, and 86 available for like under $100 a bottle, $75. One of the few places you can still find old vintage wines direct from the winery Rioja. So if you are interested in those, inquire about it. And then, believe it or not, there's more. We had Robert from Bedford stopped in to show us some new Italian wines. Excellent wines here with distinct regional character. Umani Ronchi, Conero, Rosso Conero, fantastic wine. Coco, Conero refers to the berries that grow around Cono, I don't know, maybe I got that wrong, but really distinct wine, 100% Montepulciano, dark spices, soy, espresso, wild game-like notes, dark plum, thick and chewy on the tongue with layers of black plum-like fruit, really nice, very distinct. And then the Salcetto Rosso di Montalcino, a nice little Rosso, 100% Prunello Gentile, Montepulciano, not Montalcino, I'm sorry, that's the second wine of Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, not to confuse you with Rosso di Montalcino. Okay, sorry, I've confused you. All right, but a nice little Rosso anyways. And then the Vigna Maggio, Chianti Classico, Reserva, Castello di Mona Lisa. One of the things this property is famous for, this is where the Mona Lisa grew up. We don't know if she was actually painted there, but I don't know. They just put it on the label. Some famous name like that's going to help sell their wine. I don't know, but the wine's great. They really don't need it. The 06 vintage, an excellent vintage for Chianti. And then Michele Castellani Amarone, the Colli Cristi, a really nice little wine. They used to call it Monte Cristi, but obviously there was a certain cigar company that had a problem with that. But a very nice Amarone, and we've had that wine in the store, and that's what I had to drink yesterday in the store. Check it out, all the reviews online. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasone, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.